Alright, it is 9:52 a.m. and I've been looking, but there haven't really been any setups. The only one that I have considered is GTII, but then it started to trade with a bit of a spread. Not really right now, but throughout this downtrend, I was watching for some kind of a bounce setup. Anyway, HNRC is nothing interesting. Yes, it had like a big sell-off from the previous day, but if you look at a daily chart, it's not really at a very, crazy point in the chart where maybe it could try to bounce back. It is trying to bounce back, but this one hasn't had like really good price action. This one's also downtrending, not really the best. Just some very big sellers that show up at the ask. I think there was one with like 3 million shares at the ask, so nothing really interesting here. Not very fluid in the way it trades either. I guess we'll go to CGRA. I didn't mean to click on that one, but this one is also at its lows, and it's a lot better than the other one because it's actually looking more significant when you look at a daily charts for maybe a potential turnaround. And this one can try to do something. Maybe if it can try to break above VWAP after it tried to hold above it and failed, and then maybe put up higher lows, it could be something for a reversal setup. And CLMV, I was watching this one for a previous day high breakouts. Right in the morning, the high was 64, and it looks like it was trying to maybe do something. But again, with the thing that I have in mind for morning spike setups, it's good to consider cutting a trade or not taking a trade. In this case, if it closes several times, as it's shown here under VWAP, so this one was not really much of a setup, and it is trying to downtrend, so there's nothing really I'm too interested in. Maybe if it like drops all the way to this 38 level, maybe it could try to bounce then. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for right now. And yeah, as for GTII, this is the one I've been looking at the most. I do like how, I think somebody mentioned in the comments before that they were trying to watch this for a bounce. I like how it broke this trend line eventually, this downtrending trend line. It's a bit hard to look at it with this big price action back then. If you can draw a trend line, you can see that it kind of broke the level. And it is nice in that it tried to break it here and then here, then it kind of sold off, and then it kind of came back, right? And then it downtrended, and this is like a higher low off of this bottom under the trend line. Now above the trend line here, maybe with a buy. It just would have been hard, like a buy at 58 because it's breaking above this 55 range. And then it kind of, held itself together. This thing can perhaps try to turn around over a longer period of time. I like how it had like a morning spike and then it sold off, but I wasn't interested in trading it for a bounce because it doesn't look very nice. The price action, it would have a spread sometimes too, so nothing really too ideal at the moment. And as for DPLS, it's kind of weird looking. Nothing that I'm too interested in. I don't like how the previous day high is very far from where we are right now, because then it means it has to really uptrend to try to be a breakout above the previous day high, and that is just way too much, movement towards the upside to then try a breakouts. So I'll keep looking at DPLS. Maybe if it uptrends like it is here, then it downtrends and makes a higher low off of this level. That could be a setup too. Otherwise, there's nothing really clean right now to consider trading. Alright, it is 10:48 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I didn't make anything, I didn't lose anything. It was a no trading day. There is this sell here, and this was not on my day trading account. This was my Roth IRA, and I just had one share of SPY and I sold, and I think I lost maybe $2 on that. I just don't like how the overall markets look. It can totally turn around at any point, but when it gets to the point where you can draw a downtrending trend line and it follows it, I don't want to really be in the setup. I don't really want to be long the overall markets. It could try to, continue to follow this downtrending trend line and downtrend. Maybe on Monday, great news happens over the weekend or whatever, then it has a gap up and it's above the trend line. But I don't know. I just wanted to get out of it for that reason. It was just one share. And as for the other setups, no bounce ever happened with ADHC, never made a move above VWAP, which is unfortunate. CGRA, nothing really interesting. GTII did actually downtrend some more, lower than the day low, or at least the morning low, And then, it did trade back and forth, but that's not something I really try to go after. Nothing with DPLS. And as for the other ones, I think CLMV was one. No setups with that one. This one had like a green day in the morning. But the rest of the day wasn't really anything. CLMV didn't really do much because it doesn't have much volume. And this one never really does anything, at least recently. It hasn't been something to consider. So yeah, that's pretty much it. No trades today, nothing really ideal. I'm glad I didn't try to, trade a whole bunch of things that were not good setups and then lose a bunch of money or anything dumb like that. That's it for this week.